What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Brass, aka Raps Truth Seeker, and you are now rocking with Facts and Conspiracies. And how y'all like the glasses? You know, yeah. All right. So I did say I would make a part 2, but you know, the whole situation with LA came up, and I still got a lot to cover with that. It's crazy how much is actually going on and how much is actually being revealed. And even before I go into what I'm getting ready to say, I just want you guys to know, like, you know, even when thinking about this and even still praying for the people, I don't believe that this is final judgment for LA. I really don't. What I believe is this is chastisement, if I'm going to speak on a spiritual level. And chastisement as in warnings for do better, government officials. And chastisement as in people coming to repentance. You know, do not kick the Lord out, because when the Lord removes his hand, you get things like apocalyptic behavior. You know, for example, notice that a lot of these disasters that are going on, you hear the word apocalyptic. This is apocalyptic in nature and scene. That is a spiritual warning. Remember, guys, I've said this several times. In the spiritual realm, the way we talk is not necessarily how the spirits talk. But when you start to see reoccurring things like words, numbers maybe, there's communication going on there. There's a message there. And the fact that a place that's literally called the Angels, Los Angeles, the Angels, and what are angels? Messengers. And what does Los Angeles normally do? Send messages to people through film and entertainment. The fact that a place like that is having this issue right there, you have to look for the message in that. You have to know there is a message in that. And I believe it's chastisement. Remember, Hollywood influences the entire world. And now Hollywood has a message different from a movie. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. This video is not about Hollywood, though. This video is actually going back into what I was talking about before with gangs and demonic covenants within these gangs. And I don't even have to do too much talking on this. Apparently, and this is once again, when God want to say something, when God want to reveal something, it's gonna be revealed. It's just time for things like this to come out. My community needs this. My people need this. Other people need this. We need this. We need these uncoverings to happen. And I do want to have a video where it's a little more detailed so people can actually understand the comparisons more and not just have to listen to people's words, but actually look at the formations and the actions. You know, like I've said before, like other sites have shown before, circles are very important when it comes to occultism and Satanism in general. Blood is very important. Blood is a portal in itself. Like it says in the Bible, life is in the blood. Well, that is very true, which is why blood is very important for rituals. These are openings. This is why blood on the ground is like, you know what? This is why even in the Bible it tells you when Cain killed Abel, God could hear. He could hear that. He could hear the blood. Or like when Jesus was sacrificed, there's power in the blood. The blood Jesus shed is the reason we can even be covered in grace in general. Blood is very powerful. So these things have already been pointed out, and they're very important. So now I want to go further with this investigation or this unveiling of how gangs are involved with demonic covenants. And not just gangs. Gangs are really like street fraternities. There's other frats, there's secret societies, there's many different versions of this same covenant going on in repeat in different facets of life. I want to go a little deeper into that, and I think I'm going to have to do a third part of this, but I have a video, and somebody that I follow, I just recently started following this guy. I didn't realize like how deep he was getting into certain topics that I was also interested in, but I just started following this guy, and I want to show you some more of what he's talking about. Okay, so without further ado, he actually went into a particular gang that a lot of people are very afraid of. A lot of people don't even like to talk about these guys. They're into some stuff. They don't even hide their alliance with evil. They don't hide their alliance with demonic character. They don't hide it. They will tell you, actually. And let's go into it. So, you guys ready? Let's get it. And before we go into this, make sure you like, share, follow. Make sure you let other people know. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. These videos are going to keep coming out. I'm going to continue making videos. Even if this app is banned, which I have a feeling it's not going to be banned. But even if this app is banned, I will continue making videos on those other platforms. Just follow me. Send me what interests you. Shout out to all of the Nine family that have been sending me videos. I appreciate every single one of them. Keep sending them. Keep sending them, guys. You guys are sending me some stuff. I can't see everything all at once. I work a lot. I am always on the move. I work a lot, and I need you guys to keep doing what you're doing, because at the end of the day, we are pursuing knowledge, we are pursuing truth, and we are pursuing the gain of such together. All right? So, love, peace, nine. I know I ain't do my little thing. So let me do that better. Love, peace, nine. I'm out. Let's check this out.
Hey, what is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video. So y'all already know what's going on. All right, y'all. Today, we got a pretty interesting video. I came across, actually, an interview on satanic rituals within the widely known gang MS-13, Mata Salva Trutra, right? I remember seeing another clip long ago, years ago, of another gang member, former gang member, you know, and he was talking about rituals that he did in his gang. You know, it's a California-based gang. I think their name is Devil Lanes or Denver Lane Bloods, right? I was like, man, this would be a very good topic. I've never done a video on gangs and rituals and satanic sacrifices and, you know, gangs worshiping the devil. It's like, all right, the consensus is like, yeah, gangs are evil because you either end up in jail, you end up dead. A lot of these guys have killed people, robbed people, steal, destroy, you know. Old motto of the devil himself. The devil uses these gangs. Like, of course, yeah, that's the truth. It's a little deeper as well. Like, as in a lot of these guys, they really embody it, especially these MS-13 members that are really deep into satanic sacrifice and worshiping the beast. Even a lot of black gangs as well. So I was like, hey, man, this is like right up our alley. Some new content. And I thought y'all would enjoy this video just as much as I have enjoyed researching it. Though, you know, one point in my life, I was super infatuated with all this stuff as well, just like any other young teen. So I went down the lane of MS-13, all those Mexican gangs, the Mexican mafia in prison, how MS-13 adapted 13 behind their name by aligning with the Mexican mafia, which was the 13th letter of the alphabet, the letter M. There's so much, you know, even though all the California gangs, Crips, Bloods, so on and so on, right? Very deep rabbit hole, just if you're, you know, generally going down the topic. But obviously, if this type of stuff made it to my channel, then there's definitely a very deep root in satanic involvement, right? So, you know, we'll use this video to go down that rabbit hole, y'all. So without me doing too much talking in this intro, we'll go ahead and jump into one of the first clips that I found. And y'all gonna find this to be pretty interesting, right? Check this out.
Right now we in the projects, King Manors. This is home to the Pasadena Devil Lanes, but the known clique right here is the Project Gangsta Bloods. I want to say I started gangbanging back in middle school, you feel me? I started hanging with the homies, getting influenced by the crowd around me, kind of got sucked into the matrix and became who I am, you feel what I'm saying? But it didn't lessen me as a man. I think it make you stronger in a sense, because the discipline that come from it is what give you your character, you know what I'm saying? Every day you got to deal with the choices. It's a regret. It's like a pile of regrets that stay on the gangster head. And if you're a gangbanger without regrets, you probably never even did shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be lying, then they go home and live these fake lies on the internet where everybody think it's all positive and shit. But I know the real, man, and I know how deep the gangbanging shit go, because I done did it forever, for my whole life, you know. I ain't new to this shit. Niggas know me. I'm well known out here. The big homie Bogart, you know what I'm saying? Salute, that's another G homie, that's 100. Big homie Bogart was doing an interview back in the days with Raymond and Howard with the news people. And they was, you know, questioning him about the lanes and all that. And the nigga wind up making like a accidental typo, saying some double lane type shit, like not knowing it was Denver the whole time. So once it started spreading, the news and the propaganda behind it associated with it, the homies I adapted the identity. Thought it was kind of so business. The double lanes is hard. Yeah, we feeling that whole title. We feeling that swag. But then you had the homies in the biddy that was like, you know, it's Denver, my nigga. What's the double lane shit? You know what I'm saying? You can't be mad at them because, in a sense, they might feel like that's separation. So, but you still got homies that's devil lanes. You got homies that's devil lanes. But niggas need to understand it. Listen to me now. It's all the same. Period. You disrespect a devil, you disrespect a Denver. You disrespect a mafia, you disrespect it's all the same shit. So niggas shouldn't have to say that more than once, you feel what I'm saying? It's not rocket science. If you ain't strong mentally, they can easily influence you, you know what I'm saying? And that's why the little homies be getting fucked in their head, because the big homies grab them up and plant that seed of mistrust and disloyalty, you know what I'm saying? Fuck their whole structure off. So yeah, when I was a young nigga, I don't want to put the homie name out there. He resting in peace anyway now. But he kind of introduced me to some shit that was a little dark side. You know, it's a little evil. We was on some satanic worship shit. And I was actually doing that for, man, about maybe 7-8 years. I was heavy into the satanic worship. My mom and my family thought I was crazy and shit, you know. I'm talking to the preachers left and right, asking is heaven open for niggas like me? And they can't even give me an answer, you know what I'm saying? And if you ask me how I got in this shit, man, I can honestly say I wanted power at a young age. I wanted to be balling like the rest of the niggas. I don't want to be out here on no struggle nigga shit. So if a nigga tell me the easiest way to fame is to commit myself to Satan, at that point in my life, that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did, and I don't have no regrets on doing that, because it made me who I am. Man, I've seen a lot of shit. When you worship the devil, you don't see shit the normal niggas see. And I always tell the homies that niggas be playing this shit, saying, oh, there ain't no God, ain't no devil. Okay, that's bull. You want to know? I'm telling any nigga right now, if you want to know on Bloods, on Lanes, if God or the devil is real, worship the devil. And you going to find out how real this shit is, my nigga. Man, you probably look at me like an animal if I was to tell you the kind of shit that we was doing just to gain recognition from Satan. And the first thing Satan wants you to do is denounce the Holy Ghost, which is considered the #1 sin in the Bible, the #1 unforgivable sin in the Bible. If any nigga studied the Bible knows that, you know, and that's fucked up to hearing that for a nigga like me. I did all of that numerous times, blasphemy against the Holy Ghost. So I always be thinking sometimes like, low key, if there is a heaven or a hell, I'm already on my way there. I speak the truth. I'm gonna tell the truth. But when you caught up in that satanic shit, it's like every day you want to purposely do something to hurt a motherfucker or kill a motherfucker, or every day your main focus is to go shoot or hurt somebody because you want to absorb the motherfucking energy from your enemies. You know what I'm saying? Period. Just like my nigga Sinister used to tell me for Swans, rest in peace. You want to absorb the energy from your enemies. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we was on. We was on.
MS-13 is one of the major gangs.
And they are satanic also.
That was my question. So very little.
I'm sorry.
No, but I would hope you will explain it, because very little has been written in the West about this.
They're satanic, yes.
But actually, literally, can you explain?
Well, they didn't start as a satanic organization. They MS-13 started in Los Angeles, in the U.S., because Salvadorans weren't allowed to sell drugs by the Mexican gangs. So they created a gang that was called the 18th Street Gang, because they basically wanted to sell drugs in a street that was 18th Street over there. But then division started they started dividing themselves and started infighting. So they created the MS-13. And then MS-13 started outgrowing the other gangs, and they started exporting the organization to other parts of the U.S. And when Bill Clinton decided to deport those guys, he didn't tell our government at the time, I'm deporting this criminal. They just, send them here. And they came, there were few, but unchecked. At the same time, some laws were passed to protect minors from imprisonment. And of course, the gangs used that to recruit 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. So at the beginning it was, some youth causing harm, assaulting, trying to control their territory, selling drugs, things that are bad, but probably not critical. But they grew, and they started controlling territories. A few years later, they were actually a huge international criminal organization that they have bases in Italy, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, the U.S. Basically, a lot of major cities in the U.S. will have strongholds of.
Right outside Washington, D.C.
Yes, of course. And you have in Long Island and
yes.
In L.A. It's a huge criminal international organization. So they grew and they started, killing more people just to get territory or to fight against rival gangs or to, collect debts or, money or whatever. But as the organization grew, they became satanic. They started doing satanic rituals. I don't know exactly when that started, but it was well documented.
Yes.
And in our arrest, we've even found authors and things like that.
Yes, I've seen them.
And so they became a satanic organization. And even when you, sometimes when you interview gang members that are in prison, they would say, I'm out of the gang. Of course, they're in prison, but they would say, I'm not a member of the gang anymore. And when they asked them why, I remember I remember the news outlet that made it but it's a very well-known news outlet that made this interview with a gang member in person. We allowed them to go into prisons and do the interviews. And the guy that they asked him, how many people have you killed? And he said, I don't remember. He didn't remember how many, probably 10, 20, he didn't remember. And then they asked him, and what is your position in the gang? He explained how he went up in positions, but I left the gang. I said, why did you left the gang? And he said, well, because I was used to kill people, but I killed for territory. I killed to collect money. I killed for extortion. But I came to to this house, and they were about to kill a baby. And the killer that had killed tens of people, said, oh, wait, what are we doing? Why are we going to kill that baby? And they told him, because the beast asked for a baby. So we have to give him a baby. So he said that he couldn't resist that. So he left the gang. He's in prison because, he's a killer. But he left the gang because he couldn't tolerate what he was seeing. So
human sacrifice was a part.
Well, in the United States a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago, I don't remember exactly, I saw the news that they were going to kill a young girl, or they killed a young girl, I don't exactly remember, because it was a satanic ritual. It happened in the U.S. a couple of weeks ago.
You may have come to the obvious conclusion that the real debate is not between Republican and Democrat, or socialist and capitalist, right, left. The real battle is between people who are lying on purpose and people who are trying to tell you the truth. It's between good and evil. It's between honesty and falsehood. And we hope we are on the former side. That's why we created this network, the Tucker Carlson Network. And Tucker Carlson...
Oh. Which is weird, right?
Well, you sort of wonder. So that's almost never described in English language press as clearly as you just described it.
No. Which is weird, right?
Well, you sort of wonder why.
Yeah.
If there's a spiritual component that's driving it, why not just say so?
Yes.
But I guess my point is you saw it as that.
Yes, of course. There's a spiritual war and there's a physical war. And the physical war could be, that's the unofficial.
Yes.
That's the unofficial version. The spiritual, if you win the spiritual war, it will reflect into the physical war. So I think our I don't know what I would call it, our impressive victory was because we won the spiritual war very, very fast.
Well, that leads me, I didn't
Because you didn't have competition. I mean, they were satanic. I think that made it easier.
In your inaugural, and I was listening on headphones for the translations, I just want to check this. You said, we have achieved this great victory and made this a safe country, and that's the predicate for everything that follows. And the next thing we're going to do in this term is to work on the economy to make it better.
Grow the economy, yeah.
And you said, correct me if I'm wrong, you said I have a 3-point plan, and I'm thinking, I wonder what that is. I don't know, start a Federal Reserve Bank? And you said the first point of my plan is seek God's wisdom.
Yes.
That is what you said.
Yeah, I said that, yeah.
Why would that be the first point of an economic plan?
Why wouldn't it be? What should be the first part of the plan?
Well, I think it should be.
Yeah.
But I can't...
And most people would think that, right?
I've never heard any leader of any country say that.
Because they probably forgot to represent the people that elect them, yeah. It's like you ask most of the people that elect the politicians, they say, yeah, that's fine, yeah, I believe that. But then you ask the politician, and he will say, no, that's not. So who is he trying to pander into? I mean, it doesn't make sense, right?
Do you think...
So it's a common sense thing to seek God's wisdom.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a prerequisite for wise decision making, I would say.
Exactly. So that's the first part of our plan.